Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and helping us feed a hungry hippo. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Today we're going to be taking a second look at washing all of your thrifted items. Last week I put out a video about the importance of washing all your thrifted items. And the feedback I got was really great. I was actually very surprised, very happily surprised that most of the feedback in the comments and comments on other social media platforms were positive. In the past, when I had made videos about washing your thrifted items or talked about it on social media, I got a lot of pushback from people who were against it. A lot of pushback. So this time, seeing so many people not only being supportive, but saying that they wash their clothes, it's a breath of fresh air. Now, granted, I am diagnosed with OCD, and part of my OCD is that I have anxiety with germs. I have anxiety as well, diagnosed, like just the anxiety umbrella. But part of my OCD is when things aren't clean or super organized, or I think something is germy or has gross stuff on it, it causes me a lot of anxiety. It's why I tried, but I can't sell shoes. I did try for a little while to sell shoes, but I can't bring myself to do it. And it causes me so much anxiety and uncomfortability that I'm not going to make myself do that when there's so many other things we could be reselling that don't cause me so much anxiety. So I, of course, am coming from a point of view where I actually have a mental illness that causes me to be very clean and very afraid of germs. But I can think that even those of you that don't have the same diagnoses can have the common sense to know that things you get from a store can and are very gross. So I was very pleased to see all of the positive feedback and all of the people that left comments basically agreeing with me or sharing their own anecdotes and stories. That was really nice. You guys left me so many comments. I am going to answer each and every one of you individually. I promise. I always answer all of my comments. Well, the nice ones. If you leave a nice comment or a debate or something I can respond to, if you're just being mean, I delete those. But I do answer all comments, and I will. But there were so many, and this is Thanksgiving week. You guys are seeing this video on Friday the 29th. The day after Thanksgiving. By the way, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, but I'm actually pre-recording this on Monday. So I'm taking a short week this week. I'm only working 3 days, and I'm spending most of those 3 days preparing, making sure we have listing schedules and extra videos like this one pre-recorded and ready to go up because I'm taking a 4-day weekend. But I will get to your comments, I promise. Even if it takes me 2 weeks, you will get an individualized response from me. But there was a lot of really great information in those comments, as well as some misinformation and some things I thought were really important to either reiterate or bring up for the first time. So I'm doing a follow-up video based on y'all's comments. First and foremost, I want to make sure everyone is very clear that in the terms of service that all of you agreed to when you signed up to sell on eBay, clearly states that you have to have clean clothes. It's right in the terms of service. I would also like to point out that there's some misinformation about washing clothing not ridding bed bugs. That is false. Google's free. Y'all can do your own research, but I did a lot of research even before I started reselling because of my hang-ups about cleanliness and stuff. I did a lot of research, and you can just quickly Google it. The only time it wouldn't work is if you had like a full-on infestation in your house and you had eggs embedded in all of your clothing and your sheets. If the water is not hot enough when you wash or your dryer is not hot enough when you dry, though it will kill the bed bugs, sometimes those eggs can survive. And that's the problem with bed bugs. They multiply very quickly and they lay a lot of eggs. If you bring home clothes from a thrift store that have a couple of bed bugs on them because they came from a dirty home, just the washing and drying will kill those 2 bed bugs before they start laying the eggs and you get the infestation. So it's kind of a true and a false. But typically hot water, heat, soap, washing, agitation of the washer, a hot dryer. A lot of people in the southern part of the United States don't deal with bed bugs or have them, and it's because of the heat. So if you live somewhere down there, you could probably just put stuff in a trash bag and set it outside when it's 5,000 degrees and let it sit, right? But I wanted to address that. You can actually go to pest control websites as well, or Google, and it will tell you that washing and drying is typically enough. It's an issue when you're already infested. You're not going to get infested that badly unless, like I mentioned in the first video, you're bringing in dirty, nasty stuff from thrift stores and bins and dragging it all through your house and letting those bed bugs run free. The chances of a reseller bringing home bed bugs is probably very small. You're probably more likely, honestly, to get them from sitting in a movie theater, sitting on a bus or other public transportation. They are hitchhikers. They get on your clothes and they go into cloth-like surfaces. People can bring them home from the movie theater. So the chances are small, but it can happen. And there are instances of resellers having had it happen to them. And you don't want to be that reseller. But the bed bugs aside, even if you disagree with me and the facts and the truth, and you think that washing and drying doesn't kill bed bugs, you still have that terms of service I already mentioned. And you also have all of the other gross things that I mentioned in the last video. So if you don't think washing and drying kills bed bugs, okay, I'll bite. But you're still okay with other people's body sweat, bodily fluids, people who don't wear underwear with their bottoms. Maybe they have open cuts that touch the clothes. Maybe they wipe their nose. Maybe they don't wash their hands after the bathroom. So you're okay. You're okay with all the bodily fluids, the fecal matter, the snot, and everything else on these clothes coming into your home. You do you, boo. That's all I'm going to say. There's so many disgusting things that happen to thrifted clothes before you get them home, and you don't know. I said this in the first video. You don't know what other people's homes look like. You don't know how clean they are as a person. Do they shower? Do they wash their hands? Do they pick their nose? We don't know. And we don't know if they clean their house. And I work from home. I'm not bringing dirty clothes up 3 flights through my dining room area, through my living room area, up 2 flights of stairs, past my bedroom door, past the bathroom, into my office where it can sit on my day bed back here and fester with grossness. Not happening. So let's look at the comments here and I will just address a few. Just the biggest point I want to make is that, yes, washing and drying helps in the terms of service. People tend to forget about the terms of service, or maybe you just didn't read them at all when you agreed. There's a couple of comments in here about people who have worked in thrift stores. Resell's very dirty. Someone says they worked in the back room of a thrift store unbagging items. The stench was bad. They found mouse droppings, maggots, dirty underwear. One purse had a used adult item inside. Stink bugs. I mean, that's gross. And I actually can tell you that I did deal with some donated items from a thrift store at one time that we purchased for resale, and it was really gross. A lot of the bags did have used diapers in it. Clothes were soaking wet with I don't know what the liquid was. Bugs. Just really gross. I don't ever go through that experience again. There's no way you can wash. Okay, so they're saying that you can't wash the clothes at the thrift store. There's no way. Obviously, the most gross, stained, stinky, if it really has urine or mouse droppings on it, they're probably not going to put it on the floor. They're going to throw it away. But they put it out on the floor if it's sellable, even if it came in a questionable donation. And a lot of germs. Just think about the flu and COVID and just normal regular colds and things that people get when they cough and hack. It's where some people don't even cover their mouth and nose, right? And they're just spewing it everywhere. Even after it's donated, after it gets to the thrift store, it's hanging on the racks. People sneeze, people cough and don't cover, or they cover and then they touch, or they wipe and they touch. I mean, I've even seen people do it in the grocery store where they're just wiping their snot and their cold or whatever they have and touching all the food bags. People are disgusting. And I cannot be frank enough with you that you can't be dragging this into your house. It's so gross. So we hear stories about a local Savers that gets the red stained pants, right? Rips and stains and all kinds of wet stuff. It's just, if you haven't seen the first video, I'm going to have it pop up. It's worth a watch if you haven't seen it, but it's also worth going through these comments and reading. If you are giving me pushback, if you don't think you need to wash everything that you thrift, if you don't think that you're bringing gross things into your home, please go read the comments and read the people's stories that used to work at thrift stores and the kinds of things that came in. I've also seen a little bit of pushback about, well, it's not feasible for everyone to wash and dry all of their items. I did address this in the first video. It's absolutely feasible. You just make it part of your workload every day. You get up, you start a load, you do your shipping. You flip it, you start a second load, you do your listing. You flip it, you start a load, you do your photos. You just make it part of your routine and your schedule. You either do a couple loads every day or have one day where you do several. If you don't have a washer and dryer on the premises, you can go to a laundromat. I talked about that too. Keith and I had to do that for a little while, and we just made it a day. We took all of our thrifted items to the laundromat. The $20 in quarters we bought was a write-off at tax time. The soap we bought was a write-off. It's all a write-off. If you're having to pay for washers and dryers, you can claim that money. You go to the washer, the laundromat once a week, and take your laptop and do some listings. You can absolutely, it's feasible for anyone to work this into their business. If you have the ability to source, measure, photograph, list, research, do your accounting and your books, and all of the other things that we do with this business, then you have the ability to work in enough time to wash and dry your items. If you don't, then maybe you shouldn't be selling clothes. Do you really want to send dirty clothes to a buyer? Like, do you really want to send disgusting stuff to a buyer? I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say because it's the answer everyone gives me every time. Well, the buyer should be washing it before they wear it anyway, and you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I wash new tag stuff. When I go to Walmart and I get a new Halloween t-shirt, I bring it home, I cut the tags off, I wash it and dry it before I wear it. I don't know who tried it on at the store, what was going on with their body when they tried it on. I don't know what people had on their hands that may have touched it. I also don't know what's in the warehouse where it's stored. So I wash and dry everything before I wear it, used or new. Absolutely, the buyer should be washing it. But I'm also not going to send them dirty stuff, first of all. And second of all, again, you're bringing this into your home. So even if you think the buyer is responsible to wash the item before they wear it, you've already drug it through your home. Just think about all the haul videos you have seen with people dragging in bags of clothes that they just got at the bins, straight out of the bins, with all the stuff that happens at the bins and the bugs and everything else. And they're opening it on their furniture. It's on their carpet. I mean, these are your living spaces, people. This is where your dogs and your cats or your hamsters play and walk. This is where your kids might walk and lay down. This is where you relax to watch movies and TV. Do you really want that stuff in your areas of your home where you live? It's gross. Oh, and then we have the nice person, Nancy Parks 195, at Nancy Parks 195. I figure since you left a public comment on my channel, you're okay with me using your name. She says my video could have been way shorter. And I keep repeating myself. Allow me to direct you to the video I put out on Tuesday about me being me. And if you don't like me, don't watch my channel. And when it comes to things that really disgust me or things that I'm really passionate about, I'm going to keep repeating myself. Let me take a sassy drink. Don't watch me, Nancy. Use the fast forward button. Or you know what? Instead of leaving me a comment, you could have used that time to go start the washing machine and start a load of laundry. Oh, I cracked myself up. Anyway, I just wanted to come back and address some things that I really didn't get to in the first video and just make sure that you guys are aware of everything else. Go read the comments. The stories of people who worked in the thrift stores should convince you. Don't forget, you know, again, repeating myself, Nancy, hi, you watching? I'm saying it for the third time. The terms of service on eBay say that we are required to wash clothes. Did you get it that time? I cracked myself up. But really, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like if you disagree with me and you don't wash and dry your clothes and you have a good argument or a debate, absolutely you can comment. Not everyone has to agree with me. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I do like to hear different points of view. I do like to hear what people have to say. I do like to hear when people do things differently than I do, not just like this topic per se, but say I tell you this is how I take my pictures and then somebody else says, oh, well, I do it this way. That might be a better way. So I do like to hear from people. But this is not an echo chamber. But if you're just here to be rude, I'm just going to start reading your rude comments. And if you're just doing your rude comments for attention, I guess that gives you the attention you need, right? Is that what you're looking for? Do you need attention? Do you need somebody to love you? Go wash some clothes. All right. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, as usual, let me know down below. And don't forget to join our Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Have a couple of videos I'm going to pop up here for you if you haven't seen them yet. And if you have time over the Thanksgiving weekend, go read through some of those comments. There's a lot of good information in there. Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. It's going to be Christmas before you know it. See you guys later. Bye.